Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephen Willens. I am the CEO of the Jewish Healthcare Center. I would like to welcome you here today to our service of remembrance. We're honored to share this time of remembrance with you as we reflect on the lives of those we have recently lost during a time that has been grieving all the more complicated. We care deeply for your loved ones, and our hearts grieve with yours. These times have been difficult, and although we are physically distant, together we remember and connect on a deeper and more spiritual level. Jewish healthcare is rooted in the rich traditions of the Jewish people. For this reason, some of the service will reflect these traditions. Loss and love are universal, and we have included a number of songs and readings from other spiritual and faith traditions. It is our sincere hope that these words and music bring some comfort and peace to those sacred places that we all share. When we come together for healing, we come from different experiences and with different needs. When we come together for healing, we share ourselves with one another, and that is the greatest gift of all. While we leave the healing time and space with the same issues we brought with us, ironically, our own burdens seem lighter when bound together with those of others. When we come together in this time of pandemic, we have been constrained from physically reaching out. We must learn to share in this virtual space. May it still be the space for healing that we so need. When we come together for healing, may we become the tools, the source of support, encouragement, and hope for one another and for ourselves. Today, we remember Louise Abdullah, Freda Abrams, Gloria Allen, Americo Ambrosi, Judith Anderson, Michael Anderson, Stacy Arman, Marshall Arnold, Marcia Banfield, Gerald Bankert, Marion Bartlett, Janet Bath,
Marcel Beaulieu, Christina Benoit, Simone Benoit, Nita Bindman, Robert Bolivar, Bernadette Boucher, Linda Brewer, Dorothy Brooks, Frank Brooks, Patricia Brousseau, Linda Brown, June Buonamo, Ruth Burt, Carol Burns, Maurice Capistran, Ann Carroll, Pauline Cassavant, Rosina Catenacci, Eleanor Caviston, Robert Chapin, Judith Charrington, Francis Krostowski, Nikki Sika, Chester Clark, Joan Cohen, Patricia Corson, Ruth Cormier, Ann Costa, Roberto Costa, John Cragen, Julia Della Grotte, John Dent, Richard Dion, Marjorie Doyle, Virginia Eaton, Carol Epstein, Linda Fanoff, Phyllis Favuli, Clifford Feen, Gina Filizzola, William Fisher, Cornelius Flynn, Germaine Fortier, Alfred Fournier, Teresa Gadori, Francis Gagne, Gloria Gardner, Joan Garson, Richard Garvin, Leona Gately, Leola Gendro, Harris Gerard, John Giese, Elmira Giacomuzzi, Richard Gilpin, Shirley Glazier, Cornelius Gleason, Doris Goff, Ida Goldberg, Lucia Goldman, Alice Goldstein, Blas Gonzalez, Richard Goonan, Dorothy Gray, Marilyn Halfstrom, Elizabeth Hagopian, Patricia Hopkins, Martin Harity, Julie Hart, George Hathaway, Elaine Hibbard, Gary Hill, Horace Holland, Richard Hawley, Myra Hopkins, Maxine Horowitz, Varda Humer, Pamela Howe, Barbara Hunter, Catherine Jakes, Doris Jaffe, Lucille Jarvis, Roger Jetty, Arthur Katzinson, Eleanor Keenan, Calvin Keller, Bonwan Kitnuvong, Dottie Klein, Sophocles Kolios, Karl Kuzankowski, Samuel LaCanfora, Robert LaChapelle, Maurice Landstrom, Bernard Lapointe, Yves LeBlanc, Suzanne Ligor, Najla Lindquist, Mary Lucy, John Lucasen, Joan McDonald, Valerie Manzaro, Barbara Martin, Shirley Martin, Naomi Maynard, Reva Mazo, Judith McCourt, John McDonald, Jeannie McKeon, Delinia Mello, John Merrow, Russell Messier, Evangeline Michaelides, Bernice Miller, Elizabeth Miller, George Miller, Bill Moore, Howard Morgan, Morton Morin, Beverly Morton, Stephen Monroe, Robert Niemyk, Gloria Nieves, Gail O'Connell, Yvette O'Connell, Elizabeth O'Donnell, William Orne, Mary O'Neill, Ann O'Neill, Dorothy Pasillo, John Page, Mary Parrish, Audrey Perry, Thomas Perry, Ronald Filippo, Margaret Phillips, Ann Price, Margaret Provost, Lillian Rappaport, Mildred Rapucci, Elizabeth Ream, John Ronayne, Sandra Rose, Edith Rosenfield, Margaret Royka, Betty Sachs, Mary Salerno, Nafi Samara, Roger Samia, Mary Sanderson, Alvin Schiffman, John Schwartz, Peter Skopetsky, Sheila Seagrieve, Ronald Shaw, Daniel Shea, Christopher Shepard, Tony Simon, Ekaterini Singas, Glenn Snowden, Edna Spencer, Sandra Sposado, Santina Stafford, Zelda Stein, Ruth Stewart, Myrtle Swanson, Dorothy Swartz, Hazel Slozek, Catherine Tebow, Pauline Thorndike, Kenneth Tozer, Pauline Vazel, Rita Vaugh, Elaine Vazina, Stephen Verdinlia, Rita Wally, Marie Warshaw, Paul Weaver, Priscilla White, Robert White, Rose Wilworth, Esther Whitner, Jack Wolfson, John Wood, and Pauline Wolfson. This is the traditional Jewish memorial prayer. El Malirachamim Shochen Bamromim Hamitzei Menucha Nechona Tachat Hanfei Hashchina B'ma'alot Kiroshim Utehorim Kizohar Harakia Mazirim Lenishmot Yakirenu Ukdoshenu Shehalchu La'olamam Ana Ba'al Harachamim Hastirem V'tzel Kenafecha La'olamim Utzror V'tzror HaChayim Et Nishmato Tam Adonai Hunachalatam V'yanuchu B'shalom Al Mishkavam V'nomar Amen. God, filled with mercy, dwelling in the heavens heights, bring proper
in the rising of the sun and its going down.
We remember them.
In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter.
We remember them.
In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring.
We remember them.
In the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of the summer.
We remember them.
In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn.
We remember them.
In the beginning of the year and when it ends.
We remember them.
When we are weary and in need of strength.
We remember them.
When we are lost and sick of heart.
We remember them.
When we have joys and special celebrations we yearn to share.
We remember them.
So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are part of us. We remember them.
It's been our custom in this service to allow this time for people to share thoughts, remembrances, appreciation. This is the time to do that. A few people have asked, and we'll start with Sharon Crew.
I'm just unmuting. There we go. Thank you very much. I'm going to take a few minutes to remember the beautiful soul of my mom, Peggy Phillips, and to share a little bit of her story with you. Loving, supportive, loyal, generous, strong, brave, fun, with a smile that would light up a room. That's Peggy. That's my mom. In February of 2020, we thought my mom was experiencing mobility issues because of a Parkinson's slump, which she had been living with and managing well for about 5 years. But new sciatica-like pain led to a visit to the ER, where we found out that my mom had a very large tumor on her lower spine. This led to more tests and the discovery of widespread cancer, with the smaller spots eventually being found on her liver, upper spine, and head. When mom's doctors showed me the MRI of her lower back, he told me after seeing the size and placement of the tumor, he was shocked that my mom was even able to walk at all. We stood in the hall and we marveled not only at my mom's ability to physically function in her condition, but also at her emotional strength as she calmly handled the news of her new unfolding diagnosis. But that's Peggy. That's my mom. After several tests and about a week in the hospital, mom was released to the JHC 4th floor for rehab until the official pathology reports came back. Mom had hoped to improve her walking enough to go back to her own home and went right to work. With the help of the amazing therapists at JHC, she was getting up on her feet and walking with a walker. Radiation was started right away, which tremendously helped reduce mom's pain. We all appreciated the excellent job the JHC staff did to schedule these important appointments, secure transportation, and support all of us during this difficult time. After about 10 days at JHC, the official pathology reports came back, and we sadly discovered that mom's cancer was not treatable, and blood tests pointed to the pancreas as the spot of origin. We were told the cancer was aggressive and that mom's time on earth that was left was short. She took a breath and calmly responded, "Well, that's not the news I wanted to hear." And as soon as the doctor left the room, she didn't cry or even think about herself. She turned to me and she said, "Are you okay?" That's Peggy. That's my mom. Mom's status at JHC was switched from rehab to hospice, with the plan of relocating to the 3rd floor when a bed was available. At the hospice intake meeting, my mom described some of the quirky dreams and minor hallucinations she experienced before the best dose of pain medication was established. She had everyone laughing by the end of the meeting. Amazed at mom's ability to find something to laugh about, I wondered how many times people left hospice intake meetings with everyone laughing. But that's Peggy. That's my mom. I have 2 brothers, and we have a close-knit extended family and a strong network of friends. With all of us taking shifts, mom had visitors in and out for 8 to 10 hours of the day on most days. We were getting to know the staff on the 4th floor and felt grateful for our time with mom and for the care and support mom was receiving from the wonderful 4th floor staff at JHC. Then COVID-19 invaded the country and eventually the JHC building, and we were no longer allowed to visit. This was a heartbreaking, devastating complication to an already terrible situation. But Mom handled this blow better than any of us, accepting her personal challenges with humility, patience, and grace. That's Peggy. That's my mom. Over the next 2 months or so, we did our best to love and support Mom from a distance, talking on the phone several times a day and FaceTiming as much as possible. A big shout out to thank the JHC Recreation team for your help. Mom's condition, both physical and cognitive, began to decline. Her move to the third floor eventually happened, which was an emotional challenge for us. We had gotten to know and trust the fourth floor staff and could picture faces when calling in for updates. And now Mom was facing this transition in a diminished state, somewhat on her own. But we found the third floor staff was as competent and as compassionate as the fourth floor. As Mom's condition continued to decline, she lost some mobility in her arms and often had trouble reaching the phone. We became more dependent on the floor staff and the hospice team to help us stay connected. We deeply appreciate JHC's assistance and patience with all aspects of Mom's care. On the morning of June 8th, Mom had breakfast and we were told was in a good mood chatting with the nurses. Around 9 a.m., Mom had some type of episode, which I forget what it's called. She was given some morphine and put back in bed, and the hospice nurse Dennis was called. About an hour later, we were told Mom was transitioning and we would be allowed in for a 1-hour visit in groups of 2. My brother John and I took the first visit at 1 p.m. Covered in PPE, we were able to sit by my mom's bed for an hour while she slept. My other brother Dave and his wife took the second shift at 3 p.m. Mom passed away while my brother and his wife were there. After Mom passed, I was allowed back in the building. I took a little time to try to begin processing this tremendous loss and gather some of my mom's belongings. Then it was time to leave. As I was leaving, a nurse, whose name I don't even know, expressed her condolences and told me how much the staff enjoyed caring for my mom and that Peggy was a beautiful soul. Those words deeply touched me. It brought me so much comfort to think that the people who were caring for my mom when we couldn't recognized Mom's true essence, even in her diminished state. Yes, a perfect description, 100%, a beautiful soul. That's Peggy. That's my mom. So I would like to close with a heartfelt thank you to everyone at JHC for caring for and supporting my mom in her final days on earth. It may be all in a day's work for you, but it means the world to my family and me. I would also like to say thank you to my mom for her amazing example of a life lived in faith and love, and for sharing her beautiful soul with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Next, Deb Emery. there anyone else who would like to speak? Please raise your hand or better send a message in the chat because you can't watch everybody at once. All around the world, clergy are still learning how to use these apps and technology. Thank you all.
Is it the wind over my shoulder? Is it the wind that I hear gently whisper, are you alone? There in the valley, no, not alone, not alone, for you walk with me. Is it the wind there over my shoulder? Is it your voice calling quietly over the hilltops, down in the valley? Never alone, for you walk with me. When evening falls and the air gets colder, then shadows cover the road I am following. Will I be alone there in the darkness? No, not alone, not alone, and I'll never be, never alone. You are walking, you're walking with me. Is it the wind there over my shoulder? Is it your voice calling quietly over the hilltop, down in the valley? Never alone, for you walk with me. Over the hilltop, down in the valley, never alone, for you walk with me.
This body is not me. I am not caught in this body. I am life without boundary. I have never been born and I will never die. Look out at the ocean and the sky filled with stars. Look out at all my friends and descendants. All are manifestations of my wondrous mind. Since before time I have been free. Birth and death are only doors through which we pass. Sacred thresholds in our journey. Birth and death are a hide-and-seek game. So laugh with me, hold my hand. Let us say goodbye. Say goodbye till we meet again. We meet today, we shall meet tomorrow. We meet in all the forms of life. Memory can tell us only what we were in the company of those we loved. It cannot help us find out what each of us alone must now become. Yet no person is really alone. those who live no more still echo within our thoughts and words. And what they did has become woven into what we are. We do best homage to those who have died when we live our lives fully, even in the shadow of our loss. So when they are gone, they are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing.
Over the rainbow, they are mine. There's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue. But dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I wish upon a star, make them where the clouds are far behind me. With love, made of love that shimmers, where you'll find me. Over the rainbow, birds fly over the rainbow, and fly.
When we first dedicated this garden, it was this time of year. And we spoke of the colors, the brightness that was fading as kind of a reflection of the purpose of this garden, to hold memory. Today particularly, the colors are still brilliant but fading, much as those who we remember today were brilliant and faded. The leaves become a basis for new growth. And today we had rain to support that growth. May we all go forward from here with memories of those who have passed, with the brightness that they gifted us, to carry new growth with those things that we carry forward from them. Thank you all for joining us today. May the memory of all those who we remember and of all who have passed be a blessing and carry us forward. And please join me saying amen.
Amen.